When people think of the Addams Family, they usually remember the black and white TV show from the 1960s, or the popular movies from the early 1990s. But sitting quietly between those versions is the new Addams Family. This show often gets forgotten, even though it ran for 2 full series and had 65 episodes. It wasn't trying to be flashy or modern. Instead, it aimed to bring the original TV show back to life for a new audience. With familiar jokes, spooky humour, and a strong love for the past, this version of the Addams Family is a strange little time capsule from the late 1990s, and it's more interesting than many people realise. Staying close to the original show. One of the most interesting things about the new Addams Family is how closely it followed the original 1960s series. Many episodes were based on old scripts, with only small changes to make them feel more modern. This is why the show feels very classic compared to other sitcoms from the late 1990s. The jokes are slower, the acting is more theatrical, and everything feels a little bit like a stage play. Instead of chasing trends, the show focused on keeping the Addams Family's humour exactly how fans remembered it: dark, silly, and politely weird. A familiar face returns. A big highlight for longtime fans was the return of John Astin, who played Gomez Addams in the original 1960s show. In the new Addams Family, he played Grandpapa Addams instead. This made him the only main actor to return from the original series, which gave the show a strong link to the past. It felt like a friendly nod to older viewers, while also introducing him to a new generation. His presence helped the show feel more authentic, like it truly belonged in the Addams Family history. Not trying to copy the movies. By the time this show aired, the Addams Family movies were still very popular. Instead of copying those big dramatic performances, the TV series chose a different path. Gomez and Morticia were calmer and more cartoon-like, closer to the original TV versions. The show focused on jokes, wordplay, and silly situations rather than big emotional moments. This made it feel smaller and simpler, but also more relaxed. It knew it couldn't compete with Hollywood budgets, so it didn't try. Filmed in Canada, not the USA. Although the Addams Family feels very American, the new Addams Family was filmed in Canada, mainly in Vancouver. This helped keep costs down, but it also gave the show a slightly different look. The Addams Family house feels cosy, theatrical, and a little bit fake, but that actually suits the family perfectly. It feels like a haunted house built for fun, not fear, which matches the light-hearted tone of the show. The Addams Family video game. The show even had its own video game, released in 2001 for the Game Boy Color. The game was based on the new Addams Family and starred Wednesday and Pugsley. Players explored the Addams mansion, solved puzzles, and collected items to save the house from being turned into an amusement park. The game was released in Europe, but never officially released in the United States, which makes it a fun and slightly rare piece of Addams history. Like the show, the game was simple, strange, and full of personality. Easy, standalone episodes. Each episode of the new Addams Family told its own story. There were no long storylines to follow, and everything reset by the next episode. Something could explode, go wrong, or nearly destroy the family, and the next week, everything was back to normal. This made the show easy to watch at the time, in any order. It was perfect for reruns and casual viewing, especially for kids and families. A forgotten but fun Addams chapter. The new Addams Family may not be the most famous version of the franchise, but it has a lot of charm. It respected the original show, avoided copying the movies, and kept things simple and fun. With its returning cast members, classic humour, and even a video game spin-off, it deserves more attention than it usually gets. If you enjoy gentle, spooky comedy and don't mind a bit of late 90s awkwardness, this Forgotten Addams series is well worth a second look.